I'm Max Brantley with the Arkansas Times. It's Tuesday, September 16th. News today includes more arrests of protesters in a national civil rights organization that works in the interest of disabled people. They were arrested yesterday for sitting in an office of the Nursing Home Association. They visited the governor yesterday, and the governor said he supported them. Specifically, he supports their backing for a community care first option that the Department of Human Services hopes to implement under the Federal Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, which will provide more money and take people off a waiting list that will allow them to get help for staying in their homes and in community homes rather than being institutionalized in nursing homes and other places despite their disabilities. I happen to think it's a good program. There's a tremendous need for it. There's some thought that it might save money over institutional care, which is one reason nursing homes are against it. Well, today they took their protest to two candidates for governor's offices, Mike Ross's office and Asa Hutchinson's office. 21 were arrested at Asa Hutchinson's office. Mike Ross welcomed the protesters into his office, though some were arrested outside for blocking a street. And he also issued a statement saying he supported the aims of the protesters. This is an important point. We're seeking a response from Asa Hutchinson. The Republican position on this has been at least some nervousness about it because they see it as a government expansion. Again, we have this core question at Obamacare, which when you strip all the technicalities away, is about will our government provide sufficient help to provide for the needs of those who need it, or is it too expensive? It's a great debate, and it perhaps will move voters. Speaking of voters, the Senate race goes on. Will it ever quit? Not for a couple of months. The news today is that the Mark Pryor campaign is making quite a bit of noise about the fact that Tom Cotton missed a bunch of votes in the House yesterday, including for a piece of legislation that he once described as an emergency and co-sponsored. He apparently went to Texas to raise money for some Texas oil billionaires. Tom Cotton fires back by saying Mark Pryor should talk about foreign policy in the debate that's been scheduled in Fayetteville. I think it's a fair point that they should discuss everything. My guess is Tom Cotton will find out a way to wiggle foreign policy into that discussion. As of yet, Tom Cotton hadn't said he will appear in the AETN TV debate, at which foreign policy absolutely is on the table. Some quick headlines. Tyler Pearson, a young Democrat from Conway who's making an energetic race against incumbent Senator Jason RAPERT, has outraised RAPERT for the 5th month out of 6. I think you have to favor RAPERT in this race. He's a tough, good incumbent politician, but Tyler Pearson has given him what for. That's a good thing. The Little Rock Airport Commission today approved a renovation plan for the Clinton Airport. This is supposed to improve the airport concourse by perhaps next year. I don't think that the concourse improvements necessarily will do anything about the lag in passenger boardings, which is what's the most important thing at the airport. Baxter County, the jailers up there have been discovered in 3 separate cases, female jailers doing things they shouldn't do with either inmates or a patrol deputy. The Baxter Bulletin has the details. We wrote about it today. There's going to be news tonight. Check back with our blog tonight. There's going to be results in Jacksonville. I expect that city to approve disassociating itself from the Pulaski County School District to form its own school district. There are a couple of interesting races for Little Rock School Board. There won't be big vote, but it could have big implications for the shape of the school district in months to come. And finally, the Little Rock City Board has a small issue, but an interesting issue. Should the Junior League of Little Rock, which got $20,000 to maintain a historic facade on the Women's City Club building downtown, get a waiver from that promise so that it can install new windows and not keep the old historic windows? This pits them against the Quapaw Quarter Association. You have 2 very important, very influential, very well organized citizen groups, both of whom do good works, but who are on opposite sides of an issue. This will put Stacy Hurst, a Junior League sustainer, somewhat on the hot spot on this race. She's going to have to decide. She's not often known for making tough decisions and speaking up loudly about them. So we'll be watching tonight on TV. I'm Max Brantley. I'll be back tomorrow.